Hello, everybody. This is Swati live from New Delhi. This is week 2 of our 6-week long mindfulness camp. We did mindful activities whole week long, and now we are going to get into the real meditations. Meditation is a more formal way of sitting and focusing on what we have decided. In general, any meditation is about gradually quieting your mind, typically by paying attention to or focusing on one thing that you have decided. The object of what you have decided could be different. Mindfulness meditations is about being mindful of you and your own experience, how you experience things by using your body and mind. So the object of our focus is typically our body sensations, our breath, and our mind. That means our feelings and thoughts. And also some things that we believe we would like to have and to focus on that. So it's all about being more and more aware of how your body is working, how your mind is reacting to things. So your own experience is really the focus of your attention when it comes to mindfulness meditations. There are other types of meditations such as TM, transcendental meditation, where you get a mantra from your teacher and then you focus on that mantra. There are some other meditations where, in fact, the Vedic type of meditation, where you empty your mind of all thoughts and all feelings. In a way, that meditation stands by itself. There are other meditative styles where you may focus on a God image or some of these other kinds of things. But remember, mindfulness meditation is about paying attention to how my body and my mind is working in this particular experience, here and now, moment by moment. Withhold judgments, withhold reactions, not to do anything, but to simply observe. And why simply observe? Because a lot of times we associate or we get triggered and we have a lot of stories associated with our experiences. If we are anxious, we may think some calamity is surely going to come. We think about the worst possible scenarios. If we are very, very optimistic, we will just dream on. We'll add stories to who we are and what we are doing, grandiose stories. But mindfulness is about paying attention to the moment by moment experience of how it is working right now. One would say, why do we want to do that? Because ultimate goal is, of course, to increase the joy and the bliss in our life. By being mindful, not only that we are enriching the quality of that experience, we also start paying attention to all kinds of small details, including the magic. But we also accept negative feelings the way they are. We transcend negative feelings. We get the message from whatever the negative feeling is trying to tell us, and then we can transcend it. We'll get into all that as the camp goes on. Today, we are going to learn to be aware of the most basic mindfulness meditation, which is to pay attention to our breath. Breath is life, source of life. It begins at the breath and it ends at the breath. We are going to pay attention to this most important element of our being, our conscious life, which is breath in and breath out. Breath is rejuvenation. So by paying attention to how our body is receiving the breath, we are really paying attention to the rejuvenation and the energy that we are receiving. Life can be challenging or it can be pleasure-giving. But think about it. Whatever difficulties you come, after the first impact, think about it as a challenge. In mindfulness, one would say, just think about it as what it is and nothing more than that. So before we actually start the breath awareness meditation, the main question that always comes up is the posture. How do we sit? Now, I am going to try to share a video, my own video. As you all know, or you may or may not know, I have an app called To Meditate that I just recently launched. Number two, meditate. There are many tutorials in that app, very short tutorials. One of them is how to sit and meditate. I'm going to try to screen share. If it doesn't work, please let me know, and then maybe we'll do something else. If you want, all that. So this is the this particular event is not either put if you want it up, but this a lot of men and they up, which is okay. I think some of you said that you could see it, but you couldn't actually hear it. Is that correct? So my answer to that is this. In case if the sound was not clear, I suggest you see the video again. Just go on YouTube, search for Swati Desai to meditate. I have a channel and my tutorials are on that channel, and get to part 5. Or if you download my app on your device, just go to the list of tutorials and you'll get this tutorial and you can listen to it. But meanwhile, what I did say was the practical way would be just to sit wherever you are, and doesn't matter if your eyes are open or closed. The only requirement is to have the spinal cord straight. If you want to do it in a more formal way, you can, like I showed in the video, I'm sure you could see it. You can sit on the meditation cushion with your butt up. You can sit in lotus position, or the way I showed you is a slightly more relaxed way. You can begin with a backrest if you must, and then eventually try to graduate to no backrest if possible. But at this point in our study, what we want to do is not to stretch your body too much, because we want to focus on the breath and not so much on the pain that you're going to go through, physically speaking. Given that, you can either sit on the floor, on the cushion, or you can start in your chair, and let's do a breath awareness meditation. Close your eyes in the beginning of your study because it helps to reduce your stimulation from outside. If you start falling asleep, do open your eyes. And what I do is I move my eyeballs on both sides, or I look up, or look at the sunlight or whatever source of light you have in your room. One other suggestion, if possible, decide the place where you are going to meditate. Have a clean, nice spot. It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be a separate room. But wherever it is, make sure it's clean, and it should feel sacred to you on whatever level you feel the sacredness. Because mindfulness is a sacred activity, yet secular, simple, yet serious. Today we are going to learn the first type of paying attention to the breath. Each day I'm going to focus on a different type of paying attention to the breath. Once we are done with the meditation, then I will tell you what we just did and why. Spinal cord straight and relax your shoulders. I just want to make sure there is no problem in the video part, and so let me just quickly make sure of that. Nobody's saying anything about there is a problem with my voice and sound right now. So let's get to the meditation now. Relax your shoulders. And remember, right now, it's just you, your body, and your breath. Everything else is outside this door. And take a few deep breaths first. And relax. And now we are going to begin paying attention to our breath. Let your breath be normal, just the way it's happening right now. You are not modifying it with purpose. Neither are you doing any kind of exercises with your breath. All you're doing is you're paying attention to how your body is receiving the breath. So take the breath in and feel the movement of the breath starting from the nostrils all the way to the lungs. And I suggest at this point, the way we are going to pay attention to the breath is by counting. As you take the breath in, count 1. As you breathe out, count 2. Breathe in, count 1. Breathe out, count 2. Breathe in, count 1. Breathe out, count 2. Breathe in, count 1. Breathe out, count 2. Each breath is a new breath. Each breath is a new joy, a new beginning. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Breath goes in, 1. Breath goes out, 2. Here I am, just me and my breath, paying attention to the breath. Everything else is outside this door. Breath and me, paying attention to the source of life. Bring your attention back to the breath if your mind is wandering around. Gently, that's the nature of the mind. Bring it back to the breath. Breathe in, I count 1. Breathe out, 2. Breathe in, I count 1. Breathe out, 2. Mind is wandering around, bring it back. Once you realize your mind is wandering around, wow, this is my mindful moment. I'm leaving the zone of daydreaming and I'm coming back to being mindful. Here and now, aware of my breath. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2. Pay attention to the energy and the rejuvenation through paying attention to your breath. Here I am sitting and paying attention to my breath. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2. We are going to meditate for 2 more minutes. That's what's planned. So let's pay attention to our breath for 2 minutes. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2. Mind is wandering around, bring it back to the breath. I'm paying attention to the source of my life again. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2. And at this point, we are going to stop meditating. Say to yourself, breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. 3 times. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. And pay attention to what you're saying. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. At this moment, this specific moment, here and now, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. We did a short breath awareness meditation today. This is what we are going to be doing. When we begin a session, I will talk about either any fact or any story or anything that I would like to convey to you. And then we will do a meditation. And at the end, I will attend to the question and answers. either from that day or from before. I urge you to email me your questions, because then, even if I'm not able to get to it now, I will make sure either I write back, or if some of the points seem really important, I will mention it to everybody. My email address is 2meditatetogether@gmail.com. Number 2, meditatetogether@gmail.com. And do email me, and I will make sure that I answer questions from each and every one. But at this point, I would like to get into doing somewhat longer meditations with you, either 10 or 15 minutes for sure, if possible longer. So get ready to meditate with me. If you want to come in every day, that will be a joyous thing. I'm kind of getting to know some of you already through emails and through your presence here. By paying attention to the breath, just remember the main thing we are doing is not only that we are focusing on the breath and the life, but we are learning to focus and concentrate. When you want to be mindful, the first step is supposed to be how to focus or to concentrate. And then we'll go to the next step, which is how to be aware of certain things. Even while concentrating, you are developing awareness. But before we just transcend into simple bare awareness, we need to learn to focus and concentrate, because our minds always wander around. And I'm going to tell you interesting facts about this idea of wandering around versus focus next time. As far as right now, just learn that you are focusing, you are concentrating, and that's the first step towards being truly mindful. I would like to attend to any question if it seems like it's urgent, and otherwise, I'm going to say bye to you, and we will get to all the questions eventually. Bye to you from New Delhi. Right now, it is Sunday morning here. Wherever you are, whatever time zone you are in, you just did a sacred yet secular, simple yet serious activity of focusing on your breath. Bye for now.